morning, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. Wanted to get on here today with get ready with me, and we're going to be playing with new makeup. And I'm really excited about the makeup choices because it's very balanced. I have a good amount of drugstore and a good amount of kind of mid to high range, like Sephora type makeup. And some of it I've used before, and some of it I have not. And we're going to start with something that I've never even opened. And this is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. And a lot of people love this. And I love the one for the eyes. So I'm super excited to try this. It looks like that. Kind of reminds me of the Tatcha Luminous Silk Primer. The look of it does not have a scent. Okay. I don't know if I should be running my finger around in it. I'm going to get some out with my nail like that. Just get that match. Feels soft and creamy. It feels a lot like the Tatcha. Okay. And when I'm using a primer, what I'm looking for blurring and just making my skin look better as a first step. That spreads a lot like the Tatcha. It just doesn't have the a scent. Yeah, that's nice. The feel and the application of that so reminds me of this little Tatcha that I have. So, okay, I am going to move on to concealer, and the one that I'm using, one of you girls told me about. And then I've heard all over the internet about this Kosas. I've had this for a long time, since the last Sephora sale, or maybe 2 sales ago. And it keeps getting put aside for other things. So I may have used this one time. So let's try this today. The doe foot is like that. It's not overly fat. But I have learned from the NARS Creamy Concealer that doesn't matter. You know, I can still love the product. I like a fatter doe foot, but let's see how that wears. And I'm going to give that a second to set up. Let's also do it through the center of the vase. It looks like this is going to be a real good cover. Okay, you know what? While this sets up a little bit, I am going to do a layer of my lash primer. You know what? I have a lash primer that I've been trying out. Hang on. I'm not sure how I feel about it because I love my Essence. This gives me huge eyelashes, but it also gives me stiffer eyelashes. And so I've been trying the Clinique. One of you girls told me about it. And this is different. I have to build up for longer. It's not as easy to get huge eyelashes, but when it dries down and leaves my eyelashes softer. So they're not as stiff. It may be a little bit easier to work with. I have to do this on days when I have patience though, because it does take longer to build up than my Essence. Maybe I'll go like that first. Okay, I'm going to, let me get this a little bit more damp. I might have let that set up a little bit long, but that's okay. It's going to cover great, I bet. Okay, that's how I felt about my Kosas last time I used it. It's okay. I can still see a lot of darkness, even letting it set up that long. Yeah, I'm not that blown away with the Kosas. It's a pretty good cover. It's like, I would say a medium. I'm not really big on medium covers. I like a good cover. Like, I like those dark circles to be all the way gone. I mean, it's a pretty good medium cover. My dark circles do look noticeably better, but I do have better concealers. That's my first impression. We're going to go on with the rest of the get ready with me, and I'll come back. All right, I'm going to move on to something else that's not blowing my socks off when I've used it in the past. I can't decide about it. Some days I love this, and some days not. And I will tell y'all how I test out a foundation. Sometimes it looks great when I put it on, but I go to do an Insta story and I'm like, do I even have anything on? A camera doesn't lie. A selfie doesn't lie, and an Insta story doesn't lie. So when I have this on and I go over to Insta story, a lot of days I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. But when I put it on, I like it pretty well. So we're going to try this today. Maybe the e.l.f. Putty Primer will help this out, but I'm going to try this. I like this a lot of days over a gripping primer. Seems to make it better, or over powder, like a thin layer of powder, and then this over it helps it a little bit. So we're going to try this. This is kind of a last attempt on this one. I've tried this one pretty much over and over. I love the application though. So we're going to put it on, and then I will tell you now that look for further opinions down in the description box. Look at that. That application is so gorgeous. Yeah, my dark circles are still coming through. Okay. I love the application of that. I think it goes on beautifully. I love the luminosity of it. It's like a little bit beyond a skin finish, leaning towards dewy. Very nice. I will let you know a final decision down in the description box how it wears through the day. And I'm going to go on to set. I'm going to use my Derma Blend all over my face and my Huda Sugar Cookie under my eyes. And then we'll be back. Okay, next we're going to move on to bronzer. And I picked up the Fenty in Macchiato because I love this formula. I love how smooth it is. It is a beautiful formulation, but I haven't bet a biscuit, and this turns a little bit muddy on me. So I wanted to try it in Macchiato, and I have never used this. I am really, really hoping that this is more of a golden or a red undertone. Let's look. Looks like it could be red or golden. All right, let's try it. I'm putting this on with the BK Beauty 107. Yeah, feel better too. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that. That is a good color. That's a real good color. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to blush. And I picked up a Patrick Ta in Coral. And I used the powder yesterday. It's a cream up here, and it has that little top on it. You've got the cream up here. That looks like a really nice and bright. And then a powder. And I liked the powder. Okay, I'm going to get my It Blurring Foundation brush. And this is what I like to do my blush with. Oh yeah, it's nice and pigmented. I will tell you, on my fair skin, I'm a little scared to go over this cream with that powder. It seems like it might be a little much, but okay. Oh, that's better. Pretty. A true coral. Yeah, it's really pretty. Okay, then I'm a little afraid to go over it with a color this dark, but I'm gonna do it. We will see how that goes. Hold on. I'm gonna put a little bit of powder and set that down. I'm going into my Derma Blend and setting that because that's pretty creamy and that will really grab this. Okay. It gives me a nice sunburned look. Oh yeah, I love it. Hold on, we're gonna blend, and that color to go up here on my bronzer would be perfect. A little bit over my nose. in my Derma blend. Oh, I love it. Love it. I know that's so much blush, but I love a lot of blush, and that will fade out after our finishing powder, and buffing will fade out to a perfect last all day color. I love it. Okay, let's do a finishing powder. I like to do my finishing powder and then go over that with my highlighter. I will tell y'all, I have bought a Chantecaille, a Kogan dough. Yeah, a Chantecaille and a Kogan dough. This stands up there with those. I want to show you the number 7. Heard about this. I've clearly used this. One of y'all told me to pick this up, and I've had it on my list to get forever and haven't picked it up. And then Mrs. Melissa mentioned it again, and I was like, oh, I need to get that number 7. And I'm so glad I did. This may be the powder that allows me not to buy my Charlotte Tilbury anymore, because this one, when I put it on, I'm like, okay, that is blurring, and I don't still have that urge to pick up my Charlotte. This is my go-to. This one and my It. You know, I always just am like, okay, that's good, but I still want to pick that up. Not with this. Okay, hold on. I've still got my blush brush. I'm getting my Hourglass. Oh, the blur of this powder. Literally, I may be able to just keep a drugstore. This powder, y'all. This is the Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in Light. And this is a standout with a bunch of good products this month. Okay, I'm going to put on another coat of my Lash Primer, my Clinique. Okay, then I've got 2 highlighters. We're going to use one on one side and one on the other. And we're going to use, those 2 highlighters are the Milani Power Up Highlighter Duo, and then the Huda Beauty in Nymph. And I heard about this on Jacqueline, on Jacqueline. I'll link her down below. We're going to use the Huda Beauty. This is supposed to be a dupe for Emrezy. And I've always regretted missing out on that Emrezy. So excited to get this. It's as big as my head. And this I can really, go in there good. Hold on. Let me get a little on my finger and show you. It's like a robot. It's beautiful. It's like a gold with a little bit of a silver in it, I think. Okay. That's it. It's beautiful. I love it. I've used this clearly before. I do love it. Okay, and the other one is the Milani in, again, Power Up. This one goes on, I want to say chunky. I have to be a little more careful with it, but I can really get a good glow going. Hold on. I'm going to put this side on my pinky. Yeah, a nice gold color. And then this on the other side. This one is a little... Yeah, they're both gold. I don't really know what the difference is in those. I probably just will blend them. I tend to think I'm going to like this powdery side that's not quite as shiny better, but I'm not sure yet. Hold on, let me get another brush. Okay, I'm going to get the Anastasia A23. And you know what? I'm going to just go in the shiniest side over here. On this side. Oh, it's pretty. It's really nice, though. Oh, yeah, that's nice. I'm not sure if I like this one or their baked highlighters better, but I think I'm going to like this one quite a bit. Okay, then I'm going to bounce it out with my Beauty Blender. Oh, yeah. That is so pretty, y'all. That's like my second or third time to use this, and I love it. Just be aware when you put it on, you just kind of have to blend it with your fingers a little bit, bounce it out with a Beauty Blender, and then beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do my eyelashes, and then I'm going to come back and I have an eyeshadow palette. Okay, my thoughts on the primers. I love that Clinique primer. I love it. And I may start buying this. The differences in these, this is under $5, and this is probably 15 to 20. I don't remember what I paid for it. I'll put it right here. This is stiffer. A lot of people don't like how stiff the essence is. It builds up real fast, but then it's stiff. So I have to put the mascara on when it's wet. With the Clinique, I can put it on, let it sit. Put it on, let it sit. And I have to really build it up. But once I get it built up, look at those eyelashes. I love the eyelashes this makes. And it doesn't get stiff. So if you think this is too stiff and that really bothers you, I think you would love the Clinique. And I haven't decided. I'll probably keep them both. This for hurries, for when I'm in a hurry, and this for when it's kind of a leisurely day, and I love those eyelashes. Okay, the eyeshadow that I am using. One of you girls told me about this. I've already used it once, and I loved it. This will be my second time to use this. What she recommended this for is she knows I have very sensitive eyes, and this is the only eyeshadow that she can use. Like, she had to quit using eyeshadow, and she can use this. There's a bunch of us with real sensitive eyes. If you have sensitive eyes, this is worth a shot. And I loved it. This went on very pigmented. I love the colors. So pretty. I can pull off a peach look, a pink look. I love the brown, that taupey color. And look at all those light colors for the lid and the brow bone. I love. Okay, let's see. I'm going to start with that kind of dusty pink in my crease. Okay. It's a little bit powdery. Do you see where I put my brush? It's a little bit powdery. But last time I didn't notice a lot of fallout. So we'll see. And I'm just kind of going along the brow bone and the crease. Real light. And this is the Sigma E47 that I'm using on my crease. Yeah, that goes on nice and smooth. All right, gonna do the other eye. I'm gonna blend with the Sigma E25 blending brush. This was one of the brushes in Mary Glitzy Fritzy's collection of brushes. And I'm gonna blend my transition. Okay, doing the other eye. Okay, then I'm getting the Sigma E46, this tiny little pointy brush. I love this on especially my right eye that's more hooded than this one. The more hooded your eye is, the smaller the brush. It gives you great control. So I'm going to use this, and I'm going to go into this darkest brown. Just tap, tap, tap. And then tap it off a little bit. And then I'm going to go run it under my lash line just on this outer. And that just lays that down so precisely. And then I'm going to come up for the start of my outer V. Then kind of filling in that outer hooding just with the residue. Going back in real soft, and then I'm going to come over just on that outer V. Oh, that is. Okay, I wanted to show y'all my hard eye. That's my hard eye. And this brush makes my hard, challenging eye so much easier. Oh my gosh, I love that brush. Okay, I'm going to do the other eye. Okay, then I'm getting my Jumbo Stick and Milk. And I'm doing my eyelid. And then we have an abundance of choices for our lid. I always go light, and any of those three are great. And I'm going to use, again, a brush from Mary's collection, the E55. And I love this shading brush because a lot of times on these paddle brushes, these aren't that long, and these bristles are long enough to get past my eyelashes. So I'm going to go with the lightest over here. And then I'm dipping back in, and I'm really going to get this inner good. Brighten that up. Okay, doing the other side. I'm going to go put on eyeliner and lipstick, and I will be back with final thoughts. Okay, y'all, I forgot I do have something for the lips. And I've used this once, and I think I love it. It's a Milani Keep It Full, and this one's in Champagne. And it's so pretty. It's just a real soft pink, my favorite. So I think for lip liner, I'm going to just pull out a Charlotte Tilbury. This one's in Hot Gossip. So I'll do this. Okay, and then that's a really dark liner. So I'm putting a tiny bit of concealer. I do that almost every time I do lipstick. Oh, I have a lipstick we can use. Just be aware, this is going on over concealer and it's already really light. This is the Artist Rouge Matte in M100. It's a Makeup Forever. Yeah, a Makeup Forever. I think I have 2 of these. Yeah, I have 2 of these. I have one in C100 and one in C104. Let's look and see which one we want to use. Okay, I've used this one before. It's just a real light orangey peach. And then that one. Let's do this one. This one's M100. It's a matte. Okay. Oh yeah, that's just a real good nude. And that's the normal color. I will lighten that. I will tell y'all, I will lighten that. Most people probably wouldn't, but I'm going to lighten it a little. It just gives it a little bit of a lift. And then the Champagne. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a pretty combo. That's really nice. Okay, y'all, final thoughts on this stuff. The eyeshadow palette, love, love, love. My eyes get no irritation with this at all. I didn't even realize eyeshadow might be an irritation, but this gives my eyes none, and I have sensitive eyes. And I love the way they go on. They are smooth and as good as anything I have, and no fallout. There's no fallout on these. So I love the eyeshadow palette. Okay, and then the highlighters. The Huda is a win. This is a win. From the first time I used it, I loved it. It's smooth. It's easy to apply. I love it. The Milani, I like this a lot. I don't know that it's going to be a favorite. Honestly, I have to work a little bit harder with it. It's a little bit chunky when I put it on. If I didn't have 50 other highlighters, I would say that I would probably work with this. I don't know yet if I'll pick this up. But I do like it. You know, I like the look I got with it. I just, I'm not real sure about it yet. The Patrick Top Blush, love. I really love this. I love the color of it. I think it's a beautiful sunburned look on my complexion. The cream went on great and very pigmented. I don't know that I need a powder over it, but I liked it a lot. Hold on, I can't get it open. But I loved it. I think that's beautiful, and I will definitely use that. I'm glad to have it. The Anastasia Foundation, today I love it going on. We'll see through the rest of the day how much I love it. I'm going to say I probably have others that I like more than this. But, this, I would say it's above average. It's above average application. And then through the day, I'll just have to see how it wears. I'll leave down in the description box my final thoughts on that. Okay, and then the Kosas concealer. This is a strange win for me because when I first put it on, I really don't care for it that much. But then by the end of my makeup, I'm like, okay, that looks really good. Like I don't really see any dark circles to speak of. So I think this is a win for me. I'm going to keep using that. I definitely will keep using it. And I'll put down below how it wears through the day if I have to touch it up. But I think it did a pretty good job on my dark circles, strangely enough. I thought I wasn't going to like that. The number 7 powder, big win. Big win. This is just as blurring as anything I have. So if this can make me not buy some of my upper end, that'd be great. And the packaging is so pretty on that. The e.l.f. Putty Primer, I liked this. I liked this as much as my Tatcha. I think this blurs as good as my Tatcha. I thought it blurred really nice. And, you know, I liked the way my Anastasia Foundation went on today. So maybe this is going to make me like the Anastasia better. So, I like the lipstick. I think that was really nice. I like the Makeup Forever lipsticks. I like the formula. You know, it feels nice and creamy. And if this is a matte, is this a matte? Yeah, this is a matte, and it doesn't feel drying. Very nice. I really like that. And then I love the Milani Gloss, and I'm going to put a little more on. I love this gloss. I love all these glosses. And those are my thoughts on all the makeup. If you've ever used any of these products, let me know what you think about them, and that's all I have for you. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Leave comments and questions down below, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good day. Bye.